it's a huge amount we get to pick from, and where we work so closely with Lego and with Marvel, we have this brilliant dialogue going back and forth, going, oh yeah, we'd love to include this character, and then Marvel will say, oh, have you thought about this version as well? And we look at it and go, that's brilliant, yeah, we'd love to include it. So we have some stuff that's kind of really kind of what the characters people know and love, and then we've got some really quirky kind of things in the background as well, some kind of really niche characters that we get to include. So it's really fun that we kind of get to play around with all of this content. So we basically have, where we have massive fans of all of these properties in the studio, we chat about it internally. That's kind of how the decision process goes along. And then we'll have people who will sit there and they were referencing characters from absolutely years ago, and then we'll have a conversation with Marvel and say, we'd really like to include this person. And also, it's not just the characters as well, but some of the abilities they have. So one of the characters that we have in the demo that we can show is a character called Spider-Gwen, and Spider-Gwen is in a band, and so her ability is she pulls out these drum kits and she's a drummer in the Mary Janes, and being able to have that as a kind of an ability, like if you don't know the character it seems really quirky, but if you know who the character is you realise where it's coming from. So it's kind of being able to have this kind of grounded in the reality of the Marvel universe, and yet still have a lot of fun with it. So yeah, trying to pick and choose what we include means that we're actually just keep putting more and more in. So it's going to be a huge cast of characters when we finally get to reveal it. We still haven't locked it. If there's a character that we think is really cool and think this is going to be good to include, yeah, we'd be silly not to include them. So yeah, we're still very much listening to what fans want to see, listening to kind of people's expectations. And then also just if we find someone that we think is really cool, we'll be like, yeah, we're going to add them as well. So it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. So it's really kind of the passion of the team. So when we're looking at all the characters to include and sitting there going, okay, we're going to add this version of this character, we're going to add this person, we want to make sure that they've got abilities that if you are a fan of these characters, they'll make sense for you. So being able to have someone like Star-Lord and say, you know what, little touches so that he can press a button, his mask will attach and detach. As well as the kind of abilities as things like gravity mines and the ability to fly and his kind of the dual pistols that he's got. These are all things that if you're a Star-Lord fan have to be included. So we really want to make sure that every character we've got, we're really making sure that they feel like they are. So if you are a fan of any of the characters and you get to play as them, that they'll be the character you expect them to be. We don't want them to be kind of like a cut down version of them at all.